The 20th century, a time of extraordinary change. It was a century of innovation, conflict, and progress. From the first powered flight to the fall of the Berlin Wall, the world was transformed. The 20th century began in 1901. Queen Victoria was on the throne of England. The motor car was in its infancy. Most people lived in the countryside. The century witnessed 2 world wars. These conflicts reshaped the global landscape. They led to millions of deaths and changed the course of history. But from the ashes of war, a new world emerged. Technology advanced at an unprecedented rate. New inventions transformed the way we lived, worked, and communicated. The first half of the 20th century was marked by conflict. World War I, from 1914 to 1918, engulfed Europe and beyond. It was a war on an unprecedented scale. New technologies like machine guns and poison gas made it a terrifying new kind of conflict. Just 2 decades later, World War II erupted in 1939. This global conflict was even more devastating than the first. The horrors of the Holocaust, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, left an indelible mark on humanity. These wars had a profound impact on the world. They led to the collapse of empires, the rise of new superpowers, and the formation of the United Nations. Despite the devastation of war, the 20th century was also an era of incredible technological advancement. The invention of the airplane by the Wright brothers in 1903 changed the world forever. It opened up new possibilities for travel and communication. The development of the radio brought news and entertainment into people's homes. The invention of the television in the mid-20th century revolutionized how we consumed information. These innovations shrank the world, connecting people across continents and cultures in ways never before imaginable. The aftermath of World War II saw the emergence of 2 superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. These 2 nations engaged in a tense standoff known as the Cold War. It was an ideological battle between communism and capitalism. The Cold War had a global impact. It fueled proxy wars, nuclear proliferation, and a constant fear of global conflict. The threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large over the world. The race to space. Amidst the tensions of the Cold War, a different kind of competition emerged, the space race. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. This event sparked a race for space exploration between the 2 superpowers. The space race captured the imaginations of people around the world. It pushed the boundaries of science and technology, leading to remarkable achievements. In 1969, the United States achieved a historic milestone when Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon. Cultural revolution. The 20th century wasn't just defined by war and technological advancements, it was also a time of profound cultural shifts. The Roaring Twenties saw a surge in jazz music, flapper dresses, and a sense of liberation after the First World War. The mid-century saw the rise of rock and roll, which took the world by storm. Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and countless other artists became global icons, influencing fashion, attitudes, and youth culture. The latter part of the century saw the emergence of new musical genres like disco and hip-hop, further demonstrating the ever-evolving cultural landscape. The digital age begins. In the latter half of the 20th century, a new revolution began, the digital revolution. The invention of the transistor in 1947 paved the way for the development of the microchip and the personal computer. The internet, first developed in the 1960s, became widely accessible in the 1990s, transforming communication and information sharing forever. The world was becoming increasingly interconnected. These technological advancements laid the foundation for the digital age, shaping the world we live in today. The wall comes down. In 1989, a pivotal event signaled the end of the Cold War, the fall of the Berlin Wall. The wall, a symbol of division and oppression, was torn down by jubilant crowds. The fall of the Berlin Wall marked the beginning of a new era. Germany was reunited, and the Iron Curtain, which had divided Europe for decades, was lifted. a century's legacy. The 20th century was a time of unprecedented change and upheaval. It was a century of war, innovation, and cultural revolution. From the battlefields of Europe to the vastness of space, humanity pushed the boundaries of what was possible. The legacy of the 20th century continues to shape our world today. The technologies we rely on, the global interconnectedness we experience, and the challenges we face are all rooted in the events of this tumultuous period. As we look back on the 20th century, we can learn from its triumphs and its tragedies. We can use its lessons to build a better future for all. Please like and subscribe for more interesting content.